Hi everybody, it's Jose here at Hemet Art Gallery. I'm here with Abraham Acosta, who was our featured artist of the month for the month of February, and I'm here to ask him a couple of questions. And hi Abraham, it's nice for you to do this with me again. We had some technical issues the first time we did it. First time around we did it, but thank you for your time. And I wanted to ask you a couple things about your work because you've got a lot of big fans here who come and see your work. We love what you do, and I wanted to ask you some things. How are you today?
Pretty good. Thank you for asking.
Of course, of course. So I wanted to ask you about what made you want to be a painter. What is it? What are your inspirations for painting the way that you do?
Well, I've been doing it for pretty much since I was a kid. Got into it, and I never stopped since.
That's really great. What are your inspirations? Who are your favorite artists?
That would have to be H.R. Giger and Salvador Dali.
That's
and first it was Salvador Dali who really got me into doing that surreal look. And then I picked up with Giger later on. So those two guys were the ones that pretty much broke the camel's back. And
awesome, that's really cool. I can definitely see that science fiction, surreal inspiration shine through in your work. It's with a really dark palette and you know, with your grays and blues and all that kind of things that you do in your work. And also, I wanted to ask you as well, can you tell me a little bit about your creative process? How you go about planning a painting, the subjects around your paintings, things like that?
I usually just isolate a lot. I keep to myself, and I just be staring at things, certain objects and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much as I'm looking at the wall or something, you know.
You're just going off of imagination, it seems.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I'll be having all kinds of ideas, and next thing you know, I start doodling. Next thing you know, it starts getting serious, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, I got a design.
For sure. And do you when you plan a painting, do you sketch as well before you put paint on canvas?
Oh man, I sketch a lot.
You sketch a lot, and so you've got a really packed sketchbook then, I imagine.
A library, pretty much.
A library. That's good. I like to hear that. That means that really shows in your work that you plan things out precisely the way you want them.
Even like if it's like a certain spot of the, like you know, like I would have to say it would be like at least like 10 sketches of just the horn, for an example, you know, until it comes out to the way how I want it to look.
For sure. Awesome.
If I like it, I'm gonna stick with it.
Awesome, that's great. That's great to hear. Another thing, have you ever displayed any of your work outside of here in the Hemet Art Gallery?
Well, when I was in Orange County, I used to display my work in LA, a couple of galleries over there. But mainly it was all just pretty much underground.
In the underground art scene? Yeah. That's really great. That's a really great place to start.
Like
Absolutely.
I pretty much started doing my own shows and bars.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit more about that? How would you go about organizing that kind of a thing?
Well, you know, it depends on the environment. That would be the first thing.
For sure. Okay.
So if I would have bands involved, and the club and the bar, you know, pretty much the band will get their cut from the door. The bar from, you know, from the sales of the alcohol. Mm-hmm. And with me, well, it's a Russian roulette situation because you don't know if you're going to sell or not. you'll be lucky if you were to sell something.
Yeah, I understand. So that's really great that you involve yourself with the music scene, with the local communities
Oh yeah.
as well. You bring the arts together, and that's really great to see. Another thing I wanted to ask you, how do you market your work? Are you on social media? How do you go about letting the world know that you're an artist?
Well, before it was just flyers and word of mouth.
Word of mouth, okay.
And now it's just YouTube and Instagram.
That's great. So how do we find you on Instagram and YouTube? What's your username so we can find you?
Well, let me see. On YouTube, it's Surrealist Acosta
Okay.
in 2,
Yeah.
and then in Instagram, it's Surreal Costa 1, and written in 1. So you can find me like that.
That's great. Awesome. Thank you, Abraham, for your time. And we look forward to seeing more of your work here on these walls, on these panels. And thank you again for coming to do this interview with me a second time.
Thank you. You're welcome.